grew tobacco. My dad grew tobacco with me growing up, and he taught me how to do it, and I loved it. I loved to work in it. I loved to see it grow. I loved to learn a little more about it every year. Until now, I want to be growing it. Edna won't let me. I was a farm boy and worked pretty hard, but played a lot. Had a good time. I started plowing when I was a young age. Called bursting out the middle. I couldn't have been plowing siding it because I was too little to hold the plow up there. But I soon learned it. Had to do that, and loved to do it. I was homey. Always have been ever before and ever since. I had never been much anywhere farther than Raleigh or Charlotte, mostly Fuquay and Angier. And love the farm to death. Love it just like I do right now. I was 19 years old when I was drafted. Spent 15 weeks basic training. Sent me to New York to get on the boat, ship. And when I got off, I was in Italy, which was 7 days later. I knew the war was going on bad, hot and heavy in the Pacific and in the European theaters. I had no idea where they'd send me. They didn't tell us nothing. And they put us on the ship. I called it a cattle ship. They had so many going over, they had run out of ships. And I was really a bad ship. I got really sick. In fact, I got so low I thought I was going to die. And I couldn't get up to go through the line to the meal. And one of the guys decided one day he was going to bring me an apple. And that's what turned my sickness. I ate that apple. That's the only thing I could have eaten. He brought me exactly the thing I needed. And from that on, I got better. You know that everybody was scared to death. Didn't know what was happening. And it's good we didn't. I reckon we wouldn't have got off the ship. But anyway, we landed in Sicily. We got off right on the edge of the water, and boats carried us to the landing, and that's where the firing was. And from then on, your company carried out where yours was angled at, and another company on the right, another company on the left. And we were all in the same boat, trying to protect ourselves the best we could. And trying to kill everybody in front of us. Well, you never heard such a noise when they got us to the front line. Almost there. Bombs, big guns, little guns. That's all you could hear. Everybody had their weapons, and and doing the best. And of course, the company commander was kind of directing us as he saw fit. But as I say, it was slow going anywhere. And of course, he was at first combat, you're scared to death. You got closer, especially overseas in combat. You just can't know how you get so close. Like your own blood. Never knew the man or boy in your life, and you loved him better than a brother. They had air support and big guns, shooting off bombs at where the enemies were, or where they thought the enemies were. And but we went back to Naples, or to Naples, and we were there for 3 or 4 days, and then they carried us up to the front lines in that. Somewhere between, well, I believe it was Grosseto, close to Grosseto, up from Naples. And from there, we ended up fighting many times, and as I said a while ago, the Navy saved us one time. They was firing from us with a big gun as it could possibly be made then. And they finally got every one of us, not only my company, but the whole outfit. But the Air Force and the Navy knocked it out. They were firing from the ocean too. And that's really the worst gun battle that we had. They had that big gun behind us, and they'd move it up maybe 10 feet or 10 yards, and then fire 2 or 3 of those things. Well, if you hadn't got up farther, they'd have got you, And when getting up farther with the enemy shooting right down your throat, we lost, as I said a while ago, we lost half of our company. Trying to keep from these killing us and trying to keep the bomb from killing us. Until they knocked that out, if they hadn't knocked it out, we'd all finally got it. No question about it. There's no way to survive. That big gun behind us and all that mess in front of us. And you could hear it coming. You could hear it in there way before it got to you. It shook the ground just like if you ever had lightning to strike anything pretty close by you, that's kind of what it felt like. And of course, the next one they dropped would be about 10 feet closer if you hadn't moved. So we moved up every time that thing landed. Had to. Had no choice. I don't know how any of us got out of it. And when we left there, we left 10,000 men dead. Well, I know one time we was in a pretty bad battle, and as I said, I was a rifleman. And they had tanks after us. And being trained in tank, my company commander called me out and said, you got to take you in Corporal Hoops, the boy's name, and you got to go up there with Company C. The tanks are bursting. And we did. We personally blew up, knocked out 2 tanks. But me and Hoops didn't get back to our company. We got lost from everybody for 13 days. Yes, we were all out in the wilderness, all alone except the Italians, what few scattered cottages or houses was in that particular mountain. I was pretty close to the captain. I was his runner all through training, and I don't know, we just took a liking to each other. Got hit right in the head with a .45. That one hurt me the worst. Of course, it hurt me with any of them getting killed around me. And it made me want to kill more, although I knew they were doing the job. But my job was to kill them. I just knew I had to go on, and before the war ended, and I had realized I had lost some of my best buddies in the world. And I reckon it made me want to do it more, want to get it over with. That's about the only thing that I can come up with. I did want to get it over with, and I fought like hell. And I know I killed somebody's boy. I just hate the ones I did kill for them and their family, because I knew they didn't have nothing against me. So I didn't have nothing against them. You have to save your life. You can. But I don't know how we made it. By the grace of God, that's all. And sometimes I think the grace of God took them because they couldn't stand it. Well, I made it known to the captain and everybody, of course he couldn't do nothing about it, that I loved to fly back. I got so sick going over there. Horrible. Sicker than I ever dreamed of being. And that didn't happen. But I prayed, and I mean I was in service. I was serious, buddy. That the Lord would keep that water still. And thank God it was like my little pond, all the way. I'm not saying my prayer did it, because somebody else could be praying for it too. But I think prayer did it. I got to Fort Bragg, got off the bus, and like a little corporal that led us to where we were going to stay, and said, "I'm sorry that there'll be no passes tonight issued." Well, they laughed him to scorn, you know. So everybody went in and threw the bag down on the bed and went out to call some family to come get them, just like I did. I had a brother run a eating place, and a big place, every kind of place right down nearest to the gate, Pope Gate, you know. And I didn't have any phone, and where they put us out there was about 2 or 3 miles from his place. And I didn't know where to get a phone, so I just started walking. I walked up to his place. And that was a happy moment when he saw me. Mama was the first person I laid eyes on, and Daddy the second. Of course, we run together. It was a happy time. She cooked me eggs. You know, I loved eggs. She asked me what I wanted. I said eggs. and they were the best in the world. And nobody cook them like her, and they make them taste like hers. That was the happiest day that I'll ever have. There's no question about that. All the fellas were good. 99% of them were just like me. If they didn't grow up on a farm, they grew up with a family. And most of them was honest. And most of them was tough. They couldn't have made it without being tough. Willie, you can't beat me.